Tonight's vampires have managed to do something which has historically never been done. They have presented a threat so broad in scope that the intelligence agencies of the world have banded together to hunt them. First Light was born out of the need to protect the mortals of the world. Most operatives within First Light have no idea that they are hunting vampires. And incident reports after the fact will support that they were dismantling terrorist cells around the globe. Through a combination of old world investigative techniques and top of the line modern technology, First Light has its eyes and ears in all sectors. Code words such as blankbodies, fuzzy images of Lasombra on recordings, and pushy TSA agents are part of the effort to protect mortals and dismantle the stranglehold Kindred have on mortal societies. Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and the Laws of the Night playlist. In this playlist, we go over LARP, live action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade, which are presented to us by Mind's Eye Theater and by Night Studios. So, Loresheets in the book are marked down as a special type of background advantage. You can buy these at character creation, or with your storyteller's permission, you can buy them after your character's already been in play for some time. This is something that you're going to want to talk to your storyteller about because not all lore sheets will fit within the confines of a chronicle. Lore sheets are a special way of not only giving your character a special advantage or advantages in gameplay, but also tying them in to the overall background meta plot within the Vampire the Masquerade storyline. I have found as a storyteller that lore sheets tend to be ignored at character creation just because it's a new mechanic and people don't exactly know what it is. Now, depending on when you're watching this, or even in your chronicle setting, this might not be true for you. You could very well have a game there people are obsessed with lore sheets, and with good reason. People who are used to playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition tabletop will know the benefits of lore sheets and exactly what they can do for your character. And there are several options in Laws of the Night and in future publications coming out from by Night Studios. That being said, I do want to point out that lore sheets are a lot different in LARP than they are in tabletop. In the tabletop setting of Vampire the Masquerade, lore sheets are going to add a special nuance to your character sheet. You might get a bump here and there in a background or even a discipline power because you have an associated lore sheet. However, in LARP, lore sheets tend to be a heavier hitting mechanic. They give you massive advantages. And they also should be something that are limited in a game. Maybe only allowing a certain number of people out of a larger group to take that amount. Or you could build an entire chronicle completely around a lore sheet. Another huge difference from tabletop to LARP is that, much like all other backgrounds in LARP, the lore sheets are limited to 3 different advantages instead of 5 as they are in tabletop, as there is a condensed way of running things as with all backgrounds in LARP compared to tabletop. Purchasing lore sheets can be done with your free points at character creation. At character creation, you get 7 free background traits, and you are completely allowed to dump those points into a lore sheet, getting those free dots. And I want to stress that very much because there's a difference between dots and experience traits. At character creation, you will be given a free amount of experience traits to flesh out your character, to make them an individual. And when you have those are to be spent as experience points. Backgrounds are purchased at 3 experience per dot. But with your 7 free traits of dots, you can just take the points completely without worrying about the expanded cost when it comes to experience. That being said, if you wanted to buy the Sect Veteran Loresheet, for example, taking that would cost you 6 of your 7 free dots of backgrounds. However, if you're going to buy it with your free XP at character creation, it would cost you 3 points for a level 1, 6 points for a level 2, and 9 experience points for a level 3. Bring the total to 18 points if you wanted to buy a complete lore sheet. Now, personally, I am the kind of person who likes to buy things little by little over time so that my character has a chance to grow into what those advantages are. That is my style of playing. It is not the only style of playing. And being able to start with a small amount of a lore sheet to build up the tension is a lot of fun. With that being said, you do not have to buy these in order of experience. You do not have to start with level 1. You could very well start with the 3-point background instead, because what these are associated advantages with the meta plot that your character can take advantage of in any order they wish. You could buy a 1, you could buy 1 and a 3, you could buy just the second one. You can do it any way you want to. And that needs to be kept in mind, that these are not a progression style trait. In that way, multiple characters could start with the same lore sheet and have completely different advantages for taking it. So we have covered the concept of the Second Inquisition. But we also have those other groups, the mix of government agencies which are now hunting Kindred, some of them unwittingly. And we now have the idea of First Light. And this lore sheet is going to go into the less secular versions of hunters that we may have to deal with in Vampire the Masquerade. Investing 1 dot into this lore sheet gets you no records found. You have managed to erase yourself from First Light's records entirely. You gain a free 3-dot mask and the zeroed merit. This one is fairly straight out and simple. You have found a way to completely negate yourself from any records when it comes to what the NSA and everybody are doing. You have found a way to completely blank yourself out of existence as far as government hunters go. Investing 2 dots into this lore sheet gets you evasion. You have learned how to expertly avoid being followed. As long as your path leads through an urban area, it is not possible to follow you without using supernatural powers specifically designed to track. This can be massively useful if you think about it, because not only are you hard to track for those hunters, but you're also hard to track for other things. Some Kindred just do not have supernatural means of tracking. Some lupines, some guru, might not even consider it. I like the fact that this is just open-ended, that you have perfected a skill of urban survival to the point where you cannot be tracked. Investing 3 dots into this lore sheet gets you friend on the inside. You have a mole on the inside whom you have manipulated into reporting back to you at key moments. Discuss this with your storyteller whether your control over this friend takes the form of supernatural coercion, blackmail, threats, or bribery. The mole alerts you if First Light is coming after you. Once every 3 months, they will commit an act of minor sabotage, destroying evidence, screwing up an operation, etc., on your orders. This mole does not count as a contact or an ally. You have someone on government payroll who is going to help you evade and will even report to you if an attack is about to happen. This could be anyone. Maybe it's someone who has decided that they're not ready to die, and being a ghoul is good, like getting a shipment of blood every once in a while to keep their lives going. Maybe this is an individual who you are paying exorbitant amounts of money for, or you have blackmail material over. Maybe the fact that they let you go at one point in time could look bad on their record, and now you hold that over their head, and they're regretting it every step of the way. There's a lot of different ways you could do about it, and playing, like, this is a point where you get to really kind of play the bad guy in a situation where most people think that First Light is the bad guy when they're just trying to protect the world. So who knows exactly where this is going to go, depending on you and your storyteller's imaginations. Project First Light is the technical side of Hunter, in my opinion. I like the idea of how these individuals and the Second Inquisition, the Society of St. Leopold, may have teamed up in a way to work together. Or maybe they're not in your story. Maybe they are working separately, but adjacent to each other. Now I gotta stop and think about the way that I see things. Anyway, I am Voivode Maquette. This has been a look at another lore sheet, and I am excited to get on to the next one. Good evening.